computer. Okay, good stuff. All right, guys. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Bryony, and I was introduced to the oils by my very, very good friend Alison about, well, 2 and a bit years ago, I would say, maybe 2.5 years ago. By trade, I'm a Pilates teacher and a massage therapist, so I'm very much in the wellness industry, if you like. And I like to think of myself as a self-proclaimed self-love guru. I'm really, really into the importance of looking after yourself and knowing that only when we are looked after can we look after all the other people in our lives. So it really, really is not selfish. I don't know when selfish became a bad word, but it really, really is not selfish to look after yourself. And that means in any respect. So as you've probably read in the post that I put up on my Facebook, I use lots and lots of tools. I'm a big advocate of natural health, but I use lots and lots of tools to help me live the fullest, happiest, most healthy life that I can. And I guess today I'm here to share with you one of those tools that I use, which is from a natural health perspective, essential oils. So, like I said, I was introduced by my gorgeous friend Alison, and some of you will know Alison. Alison's mummy's here as well. Hello, Alison's mum. And Alison now lives in Australia. I grew up with Alison. She went to school with me, and when she went to Australia, she became aware of a company called doTERRA, who are an essential oil and natural product company. Now, they're not very well known over here in Europe. They're an American company, and in America they're huge. In Australia they're huge, but America and Australia are always a little bit ahead of Europe when it comes to kind of should we say natural health and wellness. So what's happening in natural health and wellness around the world will be seen in Europe, but it usually comes a little bit later, should we say. So whereas doTERRA is not a big company over here, it's getting there. There's going to be a boom, and it's going to boom soon, and it's going to boom big. It's going to, you know, there are already more people these days who have heard of the word doTERRA, which means, by the way, gift of the earth. And I'm going to introduce you to their beautiful products and their beautiful company today as well. So when Alison introduced me about 2 and a bit years ago, I was very, very much interested in having the oils in my life. I had absolutely no intention of doing anything like this ever. In fact, it sent the fear of God into me, I'll be honest with you. This idea was, just the last thing I wanted to do. doTERRA are a network marketing business, and in my head, network marketing was selling Tupperware to people who didn't want it, not selling, and promoting health and well-being, which is what I was already doing. They've just given me an additional platform from which to do it on. So I can promise you, when the oils first came into my life, I had absolutely no intention of building a doTERRA business. I'm now a silver leader in doTERRA, and Alison has herself got to be a diamond leader, and she has over 1,000 wellness advocates in her community who are all learning how to use the oils and the products and sharing them within the community. And it's just a beautiful thing to be a part of, to see these people who are learning and sharing how to live a more naturally healthy life, if you like. So like I say, when the oils came into my life, it was definitely never an intention to have a business. At that point, I had just opened a Pilates studio, and I had another 2 businesses of my own. So a 4th business was definitely not on the cards. But I couldn't say no, and I'll tell you for why a bit later on. But like I say, I like 85% of most people who come to doTERRA just wholly intended to have the oils in their life, use them for themselves and their family, and experience the benefits. So do not be fooled into thinking that just because you want these oils or these natural products in your life, that you have to do anything like what I am doing today. You can have them in your life and not talk to anyone about them, which is exactly what I intended to do until people kept asking me about them, and it just kept coming around. I mean, I remember a time where one of my really good friends, Trish, who is building a doTERRA business now, she was one of the first people to come around to my house after I had the oils. And when you see them, they're pretty little bottles, and they have coloured tops. And when they're all in a nice box together, she said, "Oh, what are these?" That's what everyone used to say. And I can remember physically shutting the box on Trish and going, "I don't want to talk about them," because I was too embarrassed, or I didn't think I knew enough, or I was worried that she would think I was some kind of hippie witchy person, which I am, and I've accepted that now, and that's fine. I think we all are a bit of that, if I'm honest. But like I say, I had no intention of building this business, but there are 3 ways that you can have doTERRA in your life. You can simply live them. Like I said, have them in your family, experience them. You can share them with friends, and that might make, for instance, your oils a little bit more affordable. You could introduce them by bringing them to a class like this, or you could introduce them by sending them to me and saying, hey, Bryony's got some good stuff, you know, go and talk to her about it. Or you can, in fact, build a business like I can. And if any of you are interested in that, then of course I can touch on that with you, but I won't be going through that stuff with you today, because today I'm trying to and keep it short. And I heard a fantastic phrase the other day, which I've never heard before, which is, I can talk underwater. And that just absolutely describes me. So if anybody feels free, if I'm going off on a tangent, lift your hand, wave at me, and I will stop what I'm saying, because otherwise we may well be here for hours. And Bella won't be keen on that, even if I am. So like I say, I'm going to try to just stick to how amazing the oils are, how amazing the company is, and what, in my opinion, I have used them for. Now, I have to be a little bit careful with compliance. So I can tell you the experiences I've had. I can tell you how they've helped us and the people I know. But I am not a doctor, and I'm not a scientist. Well, I am actually, but not the right kind of scientist. So I cannot use the words diagnose, cure, prevent, or treat. I can secretly say to you now that they do all those things, but I'm not allowed to tell you they are. So there are some tools that I use, and I will go through those as well. doTERRA is a company that's run by 7 CEOs, and they're all doctors and scientists. So they very much can say, in my experience, this has helped for a condition. But I will use certain words like head tension or tummy troubles, you know, instead of using specific names of illnesses or diseases. Okay, once we're not recording, if you want to talk to me about anything, I can send you towards certain places that I've had the experience for. Okay, so any questions are fine. Interrupt me if you feel you need to, and of course I will check the chat every now and again just to make sure that you know, there's no questions coming up. Okay, so let's do a little bit more about me to start with. I found that I am absolutely a teacher at heart. I'm a Pilates teacher. When it came to being a massage therapist, I was teaching people Pilates, even though I wasn't trained in it, because I was doing it and it was benefiting me. And then I started to find I was doing the same with the oils. I've discovered that I have an absolute passion for talking, for introducing people to oils, and for educating them. For me, my passion doesn't come from selling. And so that's the slightly icky bit with me, but I've come to make my peace with it, because I have accepted that I am encouraging you to be proactive in your own healthcare. And in order to have the oils in your life and use them and love them and feel the benefit, you have to have bought them. So I will go through with you at the end how you can buy them, okay? Not from a saley perspective, but just from the only way to educate you how to use them is for you to have them in your life. But I'll be honest with you, the educating is the bit that I love. So I'm the founder of Pay It Forwards, which is my Facebook page, and it's driven by a belief that we are all here to learn about ourselves on this world and to live a life that is packed full of all the experiences that the world can offer. Have any of you seen the film or read the book Pay It Forwards? You would know where that title comes from. But basically, it's based upon the ripple effect. I read that book when I was at uni, so I must have been about 20 maybe. And the idea of the ripple effect is that if you do something for somebody, and instead of that person paying you back because you've done a nice thing, they pay it forwards to 3 people. And then those 3 people pay it forwards to 3 people. The whole idea is that with this ripple effect, we can live in a world that's more loving, that's more healthy, that's more happy, and the whole world can become a better place just by you paying it forwards. So I really do passionately believe that I can bring more happiness and greater health and well-being to people around the world. And if I touch 10 people and those people touch 10 people and so on, there it goes. I'm reading a book at the moment by an author called Bryony Brown, who is an amazing researcher. She does research into vulnerability and shame, and her books are amazing. If you haven't read anything, or even her audio books, she reads them and she's incredible. But she was talking about Pay It Forwards in the recent chapter, and it made me laugh because she was talking about a coffee shop in Canada where a guy decided that he got to the till and he decided that he would pay for his coffee and then buy the coffee of the man behind him. without the guy knowing. And by the time the guy found out, you know, he was gone out of the shop. But when the man behind him discovered that his coffee had been bought for, he then bought the coffee of the man behind him. And on it went and on it went. And the thinking is that there's a rule of three. So the idea being that something will pay forwards 3 times. I am a believer that it's much bigger than that. The idea being that if I did something nice for you, you would do something nice for someone else, and they would do something nice for someone else. But I believe it's much, much bigger than that. And the coffee shop example shows you that, because the guy went back in the next day, and out of interest, he said, I just wonder how long that went on for. And the barista said it went on for 4.5 hours. And she really believed that the only reason the paying it forwards of the coffee stopped was because they had to shut the coffee shop, and that it would have carried on the next day had it not. So let me just say right now, there are lots and lots of tools I use, and I am a really big believer that you can live a full and happy and healthy life without essential oils in them, if that's what you so choose. But they are a very, very easy and fun way to sneak this tool into your life at any time where you might need some extra support. And that support might be physically with your physical health, it might be emotionally with some emotional health, and it might even be spiritually. And I'm going to go through how essential oils can help you in those 3 ways. You'll notice that I keep glancing off to the side because I have got a few notes. I never actually speak with notes, but I got a bit nervous because this was my first online one, and I thought, oh, do you know what, it won't hurt me to have some notes. So first of all, what are essential oils? Now, some of you will have used essential oils before. So I'm very quickly going to say to you, they are pure extracts from plants, and they can come from all different types of plants out there, okay? Think of essential oils like the blood in your own body. It's the natural defense mechanism of that plant. So, for instance, if that oil has an antifungal property because it's taken from the skin of an orange, and the orange needs an antifungal property to fight against a fungus, then because we are so biologically, chemically similar to plants, much more so than we are to animals, if we take on that essential oil on and around your body, then we can actually harbour the property, that antifungal property. So you can imagine if you're looking at essential oils that may be antiseptic or antifungal or antiviral, we can take on those properties just by using the essential oils. And we know that essential oils works because they're absolutely documented through history, through ancient times. People used to be buried with their essential oils instead of their money because they recognised how valuable they were. Cleopatra used to use frankincense in her skin regime, and you know, she's known to be one of the most beautiful people in the world. So, you know, we know that these things work. And all I'm saying to you, I guess, is that I'm trying to introduce you to this idea of essential oils or natural products being an alternative to a more synthetic option. I'm not here to tell you that they are instead of them. I actually feel very, very happy to live in a part of the world where I can get my hands on, you know, medicine, that things are readily available. There are parts of the world where they're not so lucky. So essential oils don't replace, you know, westernized medicine. And there will definitely be times where you'll need to reach to more for more support. But this is the real question that I ask people at the beginning of every class that I do. I say, if I could offer you something that was safe for the whole family, that was totally affordable, that had no known or unknown, and they're the scary ones, side effects, so none of the side effects, and that it actually worked, at least as well as the synthetic pharmaceutical option. And sometimes, I'm going to put an asterisk, sometimes it works better because they're known to treat the actual problem and not maybe the symptom that's, you know, that they just mask to make you feel a bit better. If I could offer you this, would you give it a go before you reach for that more synthetic option? So I'm not saying you have to throw away everything. I'm not saying that you're never allowed to use another medicine in your life. I'm just saying, would you reach to it first? Would you try it? And for me, the big one is effective. Because I've tried natural products in the past and gone, yeah, I so want to do that. I'm much, you know, I want to be an advocate of natural products, less synthetics in my life, lowering the toxins in my life. You know, I'm all up for a bit of toxin in terms of, you know, chocolate and wine, but you know, it's all about balance, isn't it? And you can have a bit. If I'm taking the toxins away from other things, then it means I can have more chocolate and more wine. That's the way I look at it. But like I say, with me, it was, I tried natural products in the past and they just frankly didn't do what I wanted them to do. So for me, the big one was effective. And I'm here to tell you that they are. I'm here to tell you the things I reach for instead of the more synthetic alternatives. And there is a whole Facebook group of people that if you decide to get some essential oils from us and you become part of our team or our community, if you like, then there are thousands of people out there who can tell you just what they're reaching to so that you can reach to them first, and you'll find 99% of the time that you won't need the next alternative. It's great that it's there to go to if you want it, but you know, if you don't need it, then stop you going to the doctor for a start, or you might sit in the doctor's surgery and pick something else up. Okay, so how do essential oils work in our body? Well, this is my area of expertise, if you like. This is what I need. I'm a scientist at heart. I studied science at Edinburgh Uni, and without the science, it doesn't sit well with me. Let's put it that way. I know plenty of people who can just be happily, well, you know, I had this problem. I had some head tension and I used a bit of peppermint and my head tension went away, and that's good enough for me. But for me, I really needed to know why. Why did it work? How did it work? And the truth is that wellness exists at a cellular level. So health is only as healthy as each individual cell. So let me go into that for you. Sorry, I'm struggling because Bella's kicking over my essential oils. Hey, boo-boo. Hey, boo-boo. Are you getting bored? Where are your toys? Daddy took them all away. Blame Daddy. Okay, so where was I? Yes, wellness or health exists at a cellular level. Every cell in your body is designed to be well. And it's only when something is a little bit interrupted and I'll get into that in a minute, but when something is interrupted in that cell and it means that it's not quite functioning at its job, then that is when we enter into a state of dis-ease, which is coined by Louise Hay. So disease being dis-ease within your body. There's something that's not quite balanced, something's not quite ticking along as it should be. Now, that balance or that imbalance can roll along for a while without you knowing. But what your body's very good at doing is giving you a symptom. It gives you a symptom, throws something at you and says, hey, I need a bit of help with this. Can you give me something? And it quite honestly might be, I've got a bit of head tension. I haven't drunk enough water today. Or it could be, I've got a bit of head tension. I haven't slept enough. You know, but there are other tools that you can reach to help redress that balance as well. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So how do they work at a cellular level? Well, there are four processes that your cells need to accomplish in order to be well. The first one is that the cell needs to be able to generate its own energy. The second one is that it needs to be able to replicate when it needs to. It needs to be able to do the job that it's designed to do. And it also needs to be able to die off whenever it's finished so that a new cell can replace it. If all those four processes are ticking along nicely, then your cell will be nicely balanced. If all of your cells are nicely balanced and ticking along, then you won't feel unwell at any point, okay? So if you can imagine that health exists at a cellular level, then the only way to improve health must happen at a cellular level. That makes sense, right? So essential oils work because they're molecularly very, very small. They can cross into the cell, through the cell membrane, and they can affect within the cell as well as without and around the cell. So to give you an example, if you have a bacterial infection, the bacteria is too big to cross into the cell. So they sit in the surrounding areas of the cell, and they impact the cell's ability to do its job by being outside the cell. So when you take antibiotics, which by the way are also too big to pass into the cell, the antibiotics come in and they sweep out all the bacteria. Good and bad, because they're not selective, which is why there's a little bit of side effects going on, but they will do the job. They will get rid of that bacteria. If you have an antibacterial property to an essential oil, it will clean out that bacteria as well. But here is the good thing. If you have a virus, something like, say, a common cough or cold, you're not necessarily going to go to the doctor for that because you know that he can't give you any medication to get rid of the virus. And this was mind-blowing for me because I always knew that, but I never really knew why. And it's because the virus is small enough that it sits within the cell. So if you take antibiotics for a virus, it's not going to touch it. if you take an antiviral, if you take an essential oil with an antiviral property, that essential oil can get within the cell as well. So if you like, it can clean out within the cell as well as the outside of the cell. And that is why you can use essential oils to help with viral problems, should we say, viral infections, in my experience. So essential oils work by returning the cell to its natural state of well. And the way they do that is that they boost the cell's own defense mechanisms. So it's, if you like, it's returning to health and wellness by just enhancing your own body's ability to be healthy and well, which is by far the best way. Nothing unnatural in there. You're going to tick along at the best way. Nothing's getting in the way. Nothing else to that your body then needs to get rid of. You know, nothing else that's going to impact you anywhere else. This is why there's no side effects, and it makes perfect sense to me. So most people can kind of accept the physical health side of things. You know, me talking about talking about bacteria and viruses. So could you accept that if the essential oils will work to better you from a physical health point of view, could you accept that they're going to help to better you from an emotional health point of view? Now, this is usually a bit of a step for some people because they can't see that, how are emotions affecting the cell? If you think of emotions as chemicals that are produced within your body, and they are non-selective as well, they're produced within your body and they flood your body so that every cell impacts to those receptors. Every cell has receptors which affect which the emotions make the attached to, and those receptors then change how the cell is acting, performing. You know, may it be it's producing its energy, or it's not dying off, or it's not doing its job, whatever it is. Those chemical emotions are just changing the state of the cell, if you like. So think of those chemicals very much like you do your virus, your bacteria. It's just changing the way the cell works. So again, step in your essential oils to take your cell back to its resting, natural, healthy state. And you can see how it's going to impact you on an emotional level. Now, spiritual level is a step even further. But if you just accept that everything in the world is energy, everything in the world is energy. So you are energy. The universe is energy. The car that you so desperately want is energy, and all you have to do is line your energy up with the good things in the world that you want, and get your energy away from the bad things that you don't. And you can see how putting in a very positively energetically essential oil, which is always going to be very what we call high vibration, because it comes from Mama Earth and it's completely pure and natural. So it's always going to have a high vibration. That's going to increase your vibration, which is going to mean it's going to raise your energy, which is going to mean that it's going to bring good things to you spiritually. Hey, boo-boo, it's all right. Good girl, it's all right. Sorry, Bella. So let me get on. So why... If you're now sold on the idea of natural products and you see how they could work for you at a cellular level, whether it is you're looking for support physically, emotionally, spiritually, which, by the way, I believe that true health cannot exist unless there's a balance across all three. You have to kind of accept that you need to look at all three parts of you, if you like, in order to be truly well. So now I step on to, why do I go to doTERRA? You can get essential oils and natural products from lots and lots of other companies out there. But the truth of the matter is that I wouldn't go anywhere but doTERRA now. And there are three reasons for that. Number one is purity. There are no other essential oils out there that are 100% pure. So I know that in my bottle of lemon, there's nothing but lemon. And unfortunately, essential oils do not have a particularly great level of regulation. In fact, there's very little out there. The truth of the matter is that it's as little as 0.03% of the essential oil in the bottle that you need in order for that bottle to be labelled as an essential oil. So you don't really know what you're getting. They also do not have to list on the bottle what other things are in there, and that's the slightly scary thing, because if you're into natural health, you might want to know what you're putting in, on and around you. Okay, so you can go to lots of places. So let's put it this way, doTERRA do test in-house their own essential oils, but their essential oils, and remember, I need the science, their essential oils are also tested out-house as well, so by third parties. There's a guy called Dr. Robert Pappas, who he does what he calls essential oil shaming, and he tests them in his own laboratory, if you like, and he has found that some of the things that are labelled, for instance, as frankincense, don't even have any frankincense in them. They might have a few other drops of other essential oil, but that really scares me, because that means that even if you think you're doing yourself some good, that you're reaching to something that maybe isn't as good as you think it is. So that would be enough for me to go to doTERRA. I know exactly what's on the bottle is going to be what's in the essential oil. So that means I can be confident to use it on me and on my family. The second thing I would say, that the second reason I stay with doTERRA is their potency. So this is slightly different to purity. It is the idea that every bottle of oil you get from doTERRA, whether you buy it now or in 3 years' time, is going to have the same therapeutic value for you. So what that means is if you're reaching to an essential oil because you know it helps you with tummy troubles that you have, that means that the same essential oil is still going to help you in a year's time, okay? Because its value therapeutically is what they're looking at. So it's slightly different potency to purity, and the best example I have is vetiver. Vetiver is an oil that is used to help with kind of grounding and sleep. It kind of balances emotions, and I know it's also good for supporting the kidney systems. This is one of the ones I've introduced my mum to. And vetiver is grown in Haiti. As you know, Haiti being one of the poorest countries in the world. What they did in Haiti was that they took the essential oil from the yield of the vetiver plant after 6 months, and they tested it against a yield that had a lifespan of 18 months. And they found that the vetiver was 5 times as therapeutically valuable after 18 months. So you can be sure that they've tested every single essential oil like this. They are making sure that not only are you getting the purest oil, but you're getting the oil with the most amount of potency, so that it's going to give you, hey boo-boo, it's going to give you exactly what you're looking for. And this is the reason why I find that, especially in a lot of my classes, lavender is the big one. People come to me and they go, oh, I've tried lavender. I've tried it to help support me with sleep, and it just hasn't done any good in the past. And I say, try mine. Try my doTERRA lavender. And they do, and they find that it has an impact very, very quickly. I'm talking within 1 night, 2 nights, it's affecting their sleep. And why is that compared to the other bottles? It's therapeutically as valuable as it can be. So it's going to support you in sleep as best it can. And not only that, but it's as pure as it can. So that means that each drop you're using is going to be powerful. And we do have to be careful with essential oils to make sure that we're using them correctly. I'm going to go through this with you. Hi, Bella. I'm going to go through this with you in a second, just to make sure that we're nice and safe, because they are powerful, because they're so potent and they're so pure. It means that you need very little of them in order to get an effect. You know, there have been people in the past I know that have tried bottles and bottles of essential oil lavender, and it's not of lavender essential oil, and it's not made any difference to their sleep. So why is it that they then try doTERRA's lavender and it changes their sleep within a night or 2? It's the purity, it's the potency, but it also, you can imagine, makes it really, really affordable, because you don't need to use a lot of it before you see an effect. The other thing that's really good is that you also don't need to use it for months and months before you know it's not working for you. So there are always a couple of essential oils that could do the job. For instance, if you're looking for sleep, it might be that you need lavender, or it might be that you need vetiver, or it might be that you need something else, cedarwood. But you'll only have to try it to find out for a couple of nights. That's not the one for me, I'm going to move on to the next one. The majority of the time, you'll guess the first one straight away. If not, it will be the second one, 99% of the time. I don't think I've ever gone to number 3, but I do make up blends of stuff. So, for instance, Bella's Sleepy Time blend, as we call it, is a mixture of a lavender-based blend that doTERRA do called Serenity, and I use vetiver, and I use juniper berry. All 3 of those are known for their impacts upon sleep. So why would I skimp? You know, it's 3 drops. in one bottle of essential oil, you get 250 drops. So I don't care which one of those is helping Bella sleep. I just care that the blend is helping Bella sleep. Simple as, okay? And then there's a third reason. Oh, actually, let me stay with potency for a minute, because again, the science side of me is wanting to shout out. So potency, really, really important. Like I say, there's testing that is in-house, but also third-party, double-blind, all the stuff that you would imagine. There is more peer-reviewed research on doTERRA products in the last 12 months than ever before, and you can find it out there. You can go to a site called pubmed.gov, where they have the most up-to-date researches that are being done, and there's some really exciting things out there. Words I can't say, trying to be compliant. Once I stop recording, I'll definitely say all of the words to you, but there are essential oils that are helping with big time stuff out there that basically will make you think, there is no way I don't want them in my life. So if you want to do some research, jump on www.pubmed.gov and you can look at the research that's being done out there. Let's just say that there are more and more hospitals and wards and private healthcare clinics that are using essential oils to help their patients. Let's put it that way. There's a video I want to show you, just to show you the idea of what wellness really is, and how quickly essential oils can impact the state of the cell. So remember, we're always trying to get back to that well state. So I'm going to do my best to share my screen. Excuse me when I do this, because I'm not particularly techno happy, should we say. So here we go. It's only a very, very short video. I press this one.
Body absorbs it really quickly, right? We mentioned that earlier.
Oh.
So I want to share with you.
Let me start it again.
Now the neat thing about the oils is when you use them on your skin, the body absorbs it really quickly, right? We mentioned that earlier. So I want to share with you. I want to give you a visual so you can see how this works. This is a live blood cell test using a dark field microscope, and what this is showing is blood cells. These are red blood cells, and they should be round and free flowing. This is a condition called rouleau. Doesn't matter. All it means is these cells are not able to oxygenate. They're not able to provide nutrition to the body. This person had very low energy, very poor health, and we took them and put balance on the bottom of their feet, waited only 30 seconds and retested, and this was the difference. Okay, pretty significant, right? That was 30 seconds. Now this is, you can see that the cells are, you see the glow around them. Okay, that they're living and vibrant, and of course they're on a dish under a microscope, so they're going to start dying now because they're no longer in the body. But this is how they're supposed to look. This way they can provide nutrients, carry nutrients, they can oxygenate, and that's one of the huge benefits of the oils.
Okay, so I hope you could see that video. Like I say, I'm not very good at techno stuff, but I absolutely love that video because it just shows you, and it's still talking, bear with me one sec. Oh. Typical. Just, you can practice these things so often and you still can't get it right. Okay, I'm back. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, I love that video because it shows you just how quickly those cells responded. Now, remember, those cells aren't even in the body, but so balance is one of doTERRA's essential oils that is about grounding. Obviously, it impacts the cell at a cellular level, and it made those cells glow, and it made them move around, and it made them do their job better. And that is what you're looking at when you're looking for, you know, getting back to your true state of health and wellness. It means that those cells are doing the job they're supposed to do. So you were looking at blood cells, their job is to transport, so they have to move. So that's what they did. It was just incredible. Okay, so the other thing I want to quickly talk to you about, because when I get into this whole idea of cell wellness, if you like, and the idea of the 4 processes that those cells need, I can't help but mention to you the natural supplements that doTERRA offer. They offer supplements which come in a pack of 3. They look like this. I've taken them out of the box. And they're called your Long Life Vitality. And I cannot do an essential oil class without mentioning them. And I know that you guys want to know about the oils. But honestly, these are the things that have had the biggest effect in my life, and in the lives of those people around me. So I can't help but not mention them. They're basically supplements, that same idea that you would get from a natural health shop, but the reason that they work so well is because doTERRA are very, very hot on their science, and they're very, very good at their research. So we know that there are things in the supplements which are going to help the state of those cells get back to their well state. Yeah. And what basically your body needs to do is get those supplements into your body. So when you take them, they have a short amount of time within your gut system in order for them to absorb into your body. And from there, those things can help you. So doTERRA are very, very good. They've made their supplements what they call bioavailable, which means, because I always used to be a real disbeliever in supplements, that it was just basically an expensive way to go to the toilet, that you would spend a lot of money on taking things in and they'd come out the other end. But what doTERRA do is that they make them bioavailable. Now that means a few things. They introduce a yeast into the supplements so that your body recognizes them as food. That means it's going to start to digest them quicker. They put digestive enzymes in so that as soon as you swallow them, things are starting to digest. They include essential oils in there to calm your tummy, to help your digestive system to digest them. They emulsify the minerals and the vitamins so that your body recognizes, not so it's recognized, but this basically needs to happen before it can absorb into your gut. So your gut, one of the jobs it does is to emulsify your food so it can seep in. But doTERRA have already done that. So basically what this is doing is it's speeding up how quickly those things get into your body, which means that more of them get into your body through that gut system. And if more of them are getting in, then more of them are helping you. So in a way, I was kind of right. There are supplements out there which are an expensive way to go to the toilet, because if they're not absorbing into you, then they're not helping you at all. And, you know, my mum will put her thumbs up in a minute and say that these are the things that have really, really helped her. My mum's, you know, been a natural health guru for ages. She has looked into supplements. She is always researching what is good for her. And since I put her on these, things have massively changed in her health because of the bioavailability. So like I say, I need the science stuff. If you're one of those people too, then I'm definitely the person for you to talk to. But these things have made a massive impact in my life. And like I say, I can't go through an oils class without mentioning them. So like I say, 3 reasons why I wouldn't go anywhere but doTERRA. Purity, potency, which includes all the science stuff, all the backups they're doing, all the research they're doing. You know, they're literally putting themselves on the line to absolutely guarantee that we get the best quality essential oils that we can, so that they're going to give us the best therapeutic value that they can. And then comes the 3rd reason that I won't go anywhere for my essential oils but doTERRA, and that is pure and simple the ethics of this company. This company is a beautiful company to be a part of. I just, like I said at the beginning, I totally wasn't interested in running a business with doTERRA until I found out what doTERRA stood for, and now I am so proud to be a part of it. There are 2 things I'm going to talk to you about. The first one is co-impact sourcing. So they source their oils from around the world. I think it's, I might be questioned on the number, but I would say 42 different nations around the world, and 24 of those are developing nations. So some of the poorest countries in the world. It would be slightly arrogant of doTERRA to think that they could grow the oils as well, so grow the plants and harvest the oils as well as people have been doing for generations. So what they do is they go to the farmers who know what they're doing. Obviously, in those countries, they have the best environment, the best climate, the best soil, you know, the right rainfall, all that kind of stuff. A bit like growing grapes for wine. So they're going to be growing the best plants, which are going to give the best oils. But also they have these farmers who have the experience. And doTERRA go to them and they say, hey, you've got the best oils in the world. What do you want us to give you in order for us to get those oils from you, to give to other people, to sell to other people? And very often, those people in those countries do not say money. They do not want money from doTERRA. What they want is running water in their villages. What they want is healthcare. They want schooling for their children. There are these big things that doTERRA are doing. And when it first happened, I don't think they intended it that way, but they went there and they saw these people who are working, 20 hours a day in the field, and then having to walk for an hour and a half to go and get water for their family. And when they turned around and said, can you get us running water? How could they say no? They couldn't. And, it's just bless you. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. They call it co-impact sourcing because the idea is that we get the best essential oils in the world, and in a lovely kind of circular fashion. On the other side of the world, who are providing the best oils, they're getting what they need. They're getting water, they're getting healthcare, they're getting education, they're getting houses built for them. It's just honestly a beautiful thing to be a part of. It means that I know that when I'm buying a bottle of essential oil, it's like giving to charity for something that I want anyway, because I know that money, there's never been a month since I started researching co-impact sourcing, there's never been a month where I don't go, oh my God, I want to buy that essential oil. It's not that I'm running out of it and I want it, but I want it because I know what good I'm doing somewhere else in the world. They also have a foundation called the Healing Hands Foundation, and you can certainly look this up on YouTube. I'll be honest with you, before this call happened, I was looking through videos on YouTube, videos I've looked at a million times, trying to find a good one, if you like. They're all good. I couldn't pick one, so I haven't got a video to share with you. But if you went on YouTube after this and just typed in Healing Hands doTERRA, there are a lot of times I cry watching these videos, so don't do it lightheartedly. But the impact that it's happening on people around the world is massive. So their Healing Hands Foundation is 100% funded by doTERRA. So to give you an idea, not that I'm picking on anybody in particular, but this is how a lot of other charities work, is that the money that they raise, a lot of the money goes into the admin of running that charity. So, take the British Heart Foundation, for instance, 70% of what you donate to them goes to running the charity, which is great because the other 30% wouldn't be there if the 70% wasn't being used to run the charity. But that's 30% that's going to the causes that you're actually donating for. In doTERRA, with our Healing Hands Foundation, you can be absolutely assured that 100% of what you donate, what goes to them via doTERRA, by the products that you're buying or by the donations that you're making, is going to the projects that they need. So, there are people who donate regularly, and you can certainly, they're bringing it into Europe soon, but in America and Australia at the moment, you can almost it's like a gift aid. You can add a certain amount to every order that you make, that goes straight to the Healing Hands Foundation. But they also have certain products that they make that if you buy them, 100% of the money that you pay for the product goes to the Healing Hands Foundation. And the only one I'm going to talk about, because there are loads and loads and loads, the only one I'm going to talk about is their Operation Underground Railroad. So they have a Hope blend out at the moment, which is a pre-diluted blend that you can apply topically to yourself. And this blend, 100% of the money that you pay for it goes to this Operation Underground Railroad, which is all about getting children out of sex trafficking. Basically, they are funding Navy SEALs and ex-Marines to go into places and to find children and to save them, and they're setting up safe houses where they can go to, and clinics where they're being looked after, health wise and emotionally wise, and they're laying on doctors and psychiatrists, and they are seriously helping people. I mean, the numbers are amazing out there. And the other thing about the Hope blend is that a lot of them that are being sold, they have a number that you can, if the Hope blend gets into a house or into a property where there is trafficking going on, you can peel back the label, and there's a number on there that you can call, and it's basically like an SOS. As soon as you make a call to that number, you don't even have to say anything. Someone is coming to rescue you. And it's, it gives me goosebumps to think about it. It makes me almost to the brink of tears that this company is doing such massive things out there. So again, even if you didn't want the essential oils in your life and you give to charity, let's give to this one, and then have some essential oils to benefit you along the way. Okay, so enough. Here we go. I'm going to start talking about the actual products that are in front of me that I've got to show you, because this might be what you're here to learn about. So there are 3 ways that you can use your essential oils. You can use them aromatically. Aromatically is a great way to use them. So whether you're sniffing them out of the bottle or you're using a diffuser like I have behind me here. Can you see this one? So it's funky, got a little light on it as well, but it's puffing out at the top. Whether you can see that, I don't know. But what that's puffing out is water vapor. It's not steam. It's not hot, so it's perfectly safe. It's an ultrasonic diffuser. So cold water goes in with your oils, and it, if you like, puffs those essential oils out into your house, and you're breathing them in. So you can get those oils into your body by breathing them in. This is a great way for long-lasting effect. So for instance, something like sleep, having a diffuser on all night, helping you sleep for 8 hours, great way. Also really, really good for emotional support, because it's the one that gets into you and stays around for a long, long time. Your constant, continual support from those essential oils. So whether you're going to something like their respiratory blend, which is called Breathe, which, you know, would make sense to use it aromatically because you want to breathe it in. It's going to open up all your airways. It's going to help you with any breathing issues that you have, any discomfort in those areas. I'm going to say as well, it's really helped in our house for snoring. So if you have a snoring partner, it's a good one to put on in your diffuser. But the other ones I like I say, is the emotional support. So using the citrus oils, anything like lemon, orange, grapefruit, they're all uplifting, give you an immense amount of positivity, increase your confidence, increase a lot of love in your life. You know, so it's a great one to have aromatically around your house during the day. It's one of the ones I've got on now, is a citrus blend. The second way you can use your essential oils is topically. So this is the way that people think of when they think of essential oils, I think. Putting them on your body and having them, if you like, travel within you via your skin. So this is the quickest way to get those essential oils into you. You want to dilute the essential oils. Like we said, that they're very potent, they're very powerful. And I use doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. So this is just like the coconut oil that you cook with, but it's fractionated, which means that the fatty chains have been removed. So it's a liquid at room temperature. Maybe not so important if you live in Australia, but over here, definitely important. The reason I use that carrier oil is, number one, it doesn't smell. So I can really smell the essential oils. You want them to sing out. You don't want to be smelling like olive oil when you put your essential oils on. Number two, it's not greasy because it's very small molecularly, science coming out again. It means it travels very quickly within your body. That's why it's not greasy. It doesn't sit on your skin. And it's going to get to where you need it to quickly. And it's going to take that essential oil with it, okay? Also, from a practical point of view, you don't want a greasy one like something like olive oil, because it's going to get all over your clothes, all over your bed sheets, and, yeah, in your hair. It's not going to be very nice. So non-smelly, I would go for, and something that's non-greasy. And I usually recommend that when people buy essential oils, they get their fractionated coconut oil at least once from doTERRA, so that you can feel what a good carrier oil feels like. You don't have to use coconut oil. I have used jojoba oil, hemp oil, sweet almond oil. Obviously be careful of that one with nut related stuff. Macadamia oil, again, be careful of nuts. You can use anything you like if you prefer a different carrier oil, but all I would say is get as organic one as you can, and get a cold pressed oil. You know, don't waste your money on a cheap carrier oil, because actually you're going to be using more of that than you are the essential oil. So this is where I say to you, how much do you dilute? We dilute for safety and for affordability, but safety is number one. And we use a dilution ratio for adults of 1 drop to 2 mils. So it's nice and easy. You're just going to half. If you've got something like this, is a 10 mil roller bottle. So if I take the lid off one-handed, I'm great at doing things one-handed now, you can see that it's got a little roller top. So in there, this is my in-tune blend. So this is one that's helping me focus when I'm talking to you and not get distracted by certain things going on around me. So in this bottle of 10 mils, I've got 5 drops of the essential oil topped up with the carrier oil. So it's nice and easy. If you're going with that dilution ratio, you just need to half it. 10 mils, 5 drops. Now, if you're going to use it on kids, so say above the age of 2, I would go 1 drop to 4 mils. So you're halving the dilution. No, you're doubling the dilution, making it more diluted. And for babies, so you know, anywhere up to 2, possibly up to a year, depends on the essential oil. For Bella, I'm using 1 drop to 10 mils. So I do use essential oils on Bella, but obviously she's got a smaller system. She doesn't need as much of it. And we want to make sure that they're super, super safe. And the rule of thumb is start with a really safe dilution level, and you can always add more. You know, you can always add a drop to it to make it more potent. If you find that you're using your lavender for your sleep, and maybe you're rubbing it behind your ears before you go to bed, or on your wrists is another good one, and you're finding it's not helping with your sleep, add another drop in and see how you go. You can always play around with it. You know, once you've been using the oils for a while, you know which ones you want to change the dilution ratios of, what works well for you. But always dilute, because you're not diluting the power. This is what someone said to me the other day. You're not diluting the power, you're helping the essential oil to help you, and you're making it more affordable, which is always good. So where would we put it? Well, there's no real wrong place, as long as you avoid your sensitive areas like your eyes and your ears and your nose and other bits. Then there's no real wrong place. For something like, they have deep blue, which is the one that you use for muscle pain and joint pain, and it comes in a rub as well, like this, which I pretty much use all of my life. Pilates teacher, massage therapist, best friend when you come home with an achy back. Those I would go to the area. So if you've got a sore shoulder, dilute, put it on that area, you know. If you've got a rash on your arm, or maybe a burn from cooking, then lavender is great for rashes and burns, and I would be putting the lavender straight on that burn or that rash. But the basic rule of thumb is that you can put it anywhere and it will travel within that body and go to where you need it. So, you know, if you wanted to, for instance, you didn't like the smell of something, so you didn't want it up around your nose, you can put it on the soles of your feet. That's always a great place. Big paws on the soles of your feet, so they will travel within that body. You can put it on your reflex points, like your wrists, like your ankles. The back of the neck is a great one, especially for emotions. Behind your ears, along your spine is great, because it seeps into that cerebrospinal fluid and travels within your body. Where else do I put it? There's no real wrong place, like I say, but just avoid those sensitive areas. And there are ways we can get around the sensitive areas. So, for instance, melaleuca, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, tea tree, great for ear discomfort, but you obviously don't want to put drops in your ears. So one of the ways that we found that's really helpful is you put a couple of drops onto a cotton wool ball, and you hold that ball near to the ear, and that is good enough to get rid of that ear discomfort. You know, so you can see how quickly they work. And then the third way, so you've got aromatically, topically. Your third way of using your oils is internally. So this is the one that I say there's lots and lots of what's the word? Caution out there about using essential oils internally, and of course you don't have to. It's a really good thing that there's caution out there, and that there's skepticism out there, because most of the essential oils out there aren't 100% pure. So I don't know what's in them. So certainly if you don't have doTERRA essential oils, definitely don't take your essential oils internally. For me, helping support myself from the inside out by taking them internally has been a massive factor in why I love these oils. And all I will say to you is that here is food for thought. If you're a bit nervous about taking the oils internally, you feel like they're maybe too potent, too powerful for us, I would say that's fine, you don't have to, but know this, that anything that you're putting in the air that you breathe or on your skin is getting within your body and affecting you at a cellular level. So whether you are putting it within your body, as in internally through your mouth, everything is still getting there. So, you know, just consider whether, if you're happy to put something on your skin, then maybe you would be happy to ingest, because it's not that big a step, although it seems scary. And this was one of the big things for me that actually drove me away from more synthetic products. There was a product I used, which I won't name and shame, but there was a product I used that I used to use to clean my shower. And I can remember being in the shower, and I used to clean it, you know, before I had a shower, spray it around, wash the balls. And you know, one day I did this, and maybe I used a bit more than I usually did, but I had to open the shower door because I couldn't breathe, and it was burning my throat, and it was horrible. And I thought to myself, oh, I'll never do that again. I'll never clean the inside of the shower while I'm stuck in the shower. And then I thought to myself, well, actually, I don't know that I want to spray it on the cloth and have the cloth touch my hand. If it's not good going in through my lungs, I don't want it going in through my skin. And certainly those are the things that I wouldn't be drinking. Those are the things under the sink that you don't let your kids, you know, drink. So if I'm not going to take it internally, why would I want it on my skin or in the air that I breathe. So just, you know, food for thought. That's all I'm going to say. There are two ways that you can take the essential oils internally. You can ingest them. So you can put them in your food. You can drink them in your water. Or if they are ones that you potentially wouldn't like the flavour of, or something like oregano, which is a really, really hot oil. It's great for killing things within your body, should we say. But it's one of those ones that will burn you. So if you try to put it in your water and drink it, it's not very pleasant. So doTERRA have these things called veggie caps, which are basically like empty pill casings, which you can dilute the oil in, drop in, so you put a drop of the oil in, put some fractionated coconut in, you can close them up and then swallow them with water. So they're going to get to the inside of you and work from the inside out, but not affect you on the way down, either by taste or by burning you or anything nasty like that. I will say that you can't take all of the essential oils internally. Just like in nature, there are plenty of things that you wouldn't eat, but they are all stamped on the bottle whether you can take them internally. The ones that you can take internally, things like lemon, peppermint, are actually imported as food grade. So on the bottles they have supplement facts. Now they are better standard than food grade, but they're at least food grade. Therapeutic grade is higher than food grade, and certified pure therapeutic grade, which is what doTERRA essential oils are a step even further away. So they're more pure than food grade, but they're at least food grade. So basically, if you would have lemon, you can have lemon doTERRA essential oil, okay? But be cautious, they're powerful. So you're not going to eat 18 lemons in a row, so don't drink half a bottle of essential oil, okay? Just be careful. In a pint glass of water, I put 2 or 3 drops of lemon, you know, makes my water taste lovely. I'm away from those sugary kind of squashes, and I use my essential oils instead. And also, not only is it tasting nice and preventing me from having something that's potentially not that good for me, but it's also cleaning me from the inside out. That's what I talk about with lemon. I talk about reaching the bits that your toothbrush can't reach, all cleaning through your GI tract and getting rid of anything that's hanging around, you know. I've probably never been cleaner inside. So there you go, you can ingest them. Now, if you're putting them in food, they're going to be seriously, seriously diluted. So I would be happy when Bella's eating food for her to eat the snacks that I make with essential oils. You know, whether I'm putting lime in my guacamole, or I'm putting a drop of, or a tiny, tiny amount of oregano in my spaghetti bolognese, they are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So be cautious how much you put. I've thrown away a spaghetti bolognese at least once by dropping too much oregano in. So just be cautious. For instance, when I make a cup of peppermint tea, I actually put a toothpick into the peppermint oil, and then I put that toothpick into the warm water in the cup, and that is enough to flavour the tea. 1 drop is too much, makes my eyes water, makes me go crazy. Okay, so you've got ingestion. When it comes to the second one, we call it orally. So you can put a drop under your tongue, or you could put a drop onto your thumb and press it to the roof of your mouth. Now, one of the times I've used this has been with head tension. Using frankincense with head tension is great. And I do drop on my thumb, push it to the roof of my mouth, take a couple of big breaths, and that tension eases very, very quickly. Okay, so now that I've talked you through what essential oils are, why they would work in your body, why I only go to doTERRA, and the ways in which you can use them. This is the fun bit where I go through your top 10 oils, and I might even sneak in a couple of extra ones, and I'm going to go through them one at a time, and I'm going to give you an idea of what I use them for. So this is all my personal experience, if not experiences of other people around me, but the idea being that, very much from a health perspective, with these top 10 oils, you could replace your medicine cabinet. You know, no more Nurofen for head tension, no more, well, again, Nurofen for kind of hormonal related tensions. I'm doing my best to be as compliant as I can. There is very little in my medicine cabinet now other than plasters and essential oils, if I'm honest with you. So here we go. Let's start with peppermint. So peppermint is a super, super versatile oil. There are so many things that peppermint are good for. Peppermint we use in everyday life, like peppermint teas, to help with digestion. So it would make sense that peppermint essential oil helps with digestion. It also helps with head tension, helps with focus. So if you're trying to concentrate on something, peppermint is a great one. And certainly, I mean, I know there was a time where my mum used to send me into exams with a packet of Polos to help me concentrate. So it's exactly a similar thing. Bear with me just 1 second. I need to deliver Bella to Daddy because Bella needs a nappy change. Bear with me. Sam? Sam? Sorry, guys. Fun of being a mummy of a 5-month-old, but I was waiting for that poo to leak out on my lap, so I figure that's probably the best way to give her to daddy. Okay, so peppermint, like I say, great for focus, great for concentration, really, really great for calming your stomach, and really, really great for head tension. I would say that head tension is my main one that I go to for peppermint. It's also really great for cooling your body, so in things like if you've been in the sun too much, or if you've got a burn, they're really, really good for cooling. Okay, the next one I'm going to go to is lemon. As I've said, cleansing. So, you know, if you're drinking it in your water, cleansing for the inside of you. All of your citrus oils are really uplifting, positive moods, happy oils. They say that the best thing to clean your oven with is half a lemon. So in here, 1 drop of essential oil has the cleaning power of 18 lemons. So think how good it is for your cleaning products. I actually make my cleaning products now with essential oils, with water, with vinegar. I put them in a spray bottle like this. And they are cheaper and they are easier than actually going to the shop and buying them. And I know that there's no nasties around, so it's the process of kind of lowering the toxic load in my life. And one of the ones that jumped at me was high chairs. If I'm honest, Alison, my friend Alison, said it to me a long time ago with her kids, because I know that her wellness journey was sped up when she started having her mini munchkins in her life. And I would say that it really does open your eyes. So when you come to think about wiping the high chair top and then letting your kids have their food and eating off the high chair, consider what you're wiping that high chair with, or what you're wiping your chopping boards with. Is it something that you want to put in your mouth? I mean, some of the ingredients, I've been looking at them recently, some of the ingredients in synthetic chemical cleaning sprays are just the kind of stuff you don't want anywhere near you. So don't put them on the plates where you have your food off of. You know, it doesn't make any sense. Nice natural essential oils, no dangers, no toxins, just, you know, and also make you happy when you clean your house. What more could you want? And I actually, in seriousness, do find myself happier when I clean my house, and it's not just at the end because my house is clean, it's during. I really do. What else is lemon good for? Oh yeah, this is the other one. It breaks down petrochemicals, so all those things in your body that your body can't break down itself. And this is why when we have essential oils in water, make sure that you're drinking it out of a glass or metal container, not a plastic one, because if you added essential oils to a water bottle, for instance, a plastic water bottle, the lemon would start to degrade that plastic and seep it into your water. Now, you don't want to be drinking that, but it does show you how powerful a cleansing agent it is, because it will actually degrade the plastic. So think about what it's doing within your body. It's also really good for odor neutralizing. So imagine you've been cooking fish in your kitchen, put your diffuser on with your lovely lemon spray, and, you know, your house won't smell like fish anymore. Lemon is a great one for using in your cooking. You know, whether you're making a lemon cake or you're making salad dressings, you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful oil. I put it in my yogurt in the morning sometimes if I'm having, you know, yogurt with granola or something like that. It's just a really lovely, lovely oil. And also, you know, it's cleaning you out from the inside. Okay, so next one is lavender. And the reason I've gone in this order, this way. The reason I've gone in this order, peppermint, lemon and lavender, is because the three together are a real powerhouse three, and they, as is another one that's coming up, and the three of them together are really great for supporting you against seasonal threats. So you may know what I'm thinking about if I'm saying seasonal threats, giving you itchy throat or, you know, snuffly nose or head tension, along those lines. These three together are basically the word's just gone out of my head, nature's own antihistamine. That's the idea. So lavender is really your Swiss Army knife. There is never a day I don't have lavender with me, from helping with skin, so be that burns, rashes, scrapes, itchies. It's absolutely incredible. Lavender is soothing and calming for the emotions. It's going to help with sleep. It's going to help with anxiety, although I'm not really allowed to say that word. It's going to help with stressed feelings, if you like. Insect bites. Another one that I forgot with peppermint is that it actually gets rid of spiders in your house. Spiders and mice don't like peppermint, so you can put it on cotton wool or spray aside where you know that the spiders come into, and they will just leave your house, which is great. Like I say, lavender is one that I literally do not ever be without. The one that I always forget with lavender is the insect bites and stings, but it does. I mean, I was out once and I sat in the park reading my book, and I'd obviously sat on an ant's nest and I got bitten up my arm. Now, they weren't painful, they were itchy and they were annoying, and they probably, you know, if I wouldn't have gone to the shop to buy anything, but I had lavender and I was in the stage where I was like, I'm just going to see if my essential oil works, and I rubbed it on, no more itching. It was amazing, and literally gone within seconds. And I didn't reapply, or I think I reapplied about 4 hours later, it started itching again, and I put a bit more on and it went away. So really good for you. Okay, the next one I'm coming to is frankincense. Now, frankincense is what you call king of oils. There is nothing that frankincense won't do. This is a seriously powerful, seriously strong oil. It also acts as a magnifier of the other essential oils. So put it with something and it's going to put it under the microscope, if you like. What is frankincense good for? Boosting immunity. It's amazing for skin. Cleopatra used to use it on hers. It supports the blood system. It supports your brain. It supports your nervous system. It supports your digestive system. There's honestly nothing that frankincense can't do. And for me, I take a drop of frankincense under my tongue every morning in the supportive of the brain system sense. You know, there's definitely a road I don't want to go down. And if I take this every day, then, you know, that won't ever let me there. You can see why they call it king of oils. You can see why it was given to baby Jesus. It is such a nourishing oil. It's also great for aches and pains. That's the other one I always forget. So added to your muscle blend, which we'll come on to in a minute, it's an absolute powerhouse. Literally do not be without frankincense in your life. Next one up, we're coming to tea tree. So they call it melaleuca. Exact same thing, sourced from Australia. Melaleuca is antiseptic, it's antifungal, it's antiviral. It's a really cleansing one, so you can put it in your cleaning products. Most of us, when we smell tea tree, for me, I think knit shampoo. You know, House of Girls, we were growing up, there was always knit shampoo around because there were never knits in our house, which is great. Makes me wonder what else was in those knit shampoos. But tea tree, great for knits, great for supporting and getting rid of that kind of thing. It's also great for any kind of fungal stuff. So toenails, it's supportive of strengthening your nails as well, which is really great. But when people smell it, it either reminds them of knit shampoo or spot creams. So you can see it's a cleansing one, really great. So your other powerhouse three, I said there would be another one: frankincense, tea tree, lavender. Those three together are an absolute powerhouse. There is not a day goes by where I don't use those three. I use those three in my baby wipes. I use them in what we call an owie blend. So any cuts or scrapes or anything like that, you spray it on. It's your equivalent to a kind of a Savlon, if you like. So it's going to be cleansing. It's going to be soothing and healing for the skin. I can't think of the other things I use those three in, but there are such a power three together that they're just in everything. Like I say, I'm so happy that I make my own baby wipes, and honestly I could do a whole nother class, and I will. It's going to be called a make the most of your essential oils class, and when you're part of the team you can come on to the call and learn how I do all these things. I would do it now, but the class will end up being about 4 hours long, but they are so super easy, and I wish I'd done it from the start. I didn't. I'll be honest, for 3 months of Bella's life I was using store-bought wipes, and I was going for the most natural ones I could. You know, they're 100%, 99.9% water and then fruit extract in, but they're super expensive. I'll be honest, they're super expensive. There are some nasty things in baby wipes, some things that, you know, are ironically skin irritants and cause redness and hives and blistering and, you know, nasty stuff. Can end up, one of the ingredients can end up impacting the central nervous system and I think it was the liver, and I was like, whoa, I want to be away from all of these things. You know, they're in such small amounts, but when you think of how small Bella is, she doesn't need big amounts. And when I think about how many baby wipes you use on your baby, and if I'd have known how easy it is to make your own, I would have done it from the start, honestly. So I wish I'd tried. So, you know, I'm happy to help anybody who needs any of that kind of stuff. The last one in your top 10, so this is the last one of the individual oils, if you like, is oregano. Oregano is one of those oils that in 2.5, 3 years, I'm onto my second bottle, halfway through my second bottle. So it's not one of the ones I use often. But boy, when you need it, do you really, really want that oil? So supporting against immunity, supporting against bacterial infections. So there is a doctor out there, excuse me, called Dr. Axe, who is an absolute natural well-being guru. Now, he is actually a doctor, so he can say some of the things that I can't. And if you were to YouTube him, you would find some of the things he does. He's got one video on there where he does doTERRA oregano versus amoxicillin and the effect it has in 2 petri dishes of the bacteria. And all I will say is, I don't know if bacteria swim, but you drop a drop of oregano into a petri dish of bacteria and they are trying to get as far away from that oregano as possible. Now, in my own experience, I used oregano internally during my pregnancy to get rid of an E. coli infection. I didn't really want to be taking antibiotics, but I would have done to get rid of this infection, because it's one that you don't want hanging around when, you know, the baby's about to come out, let's put it that way. And the doctor, there was a bit of miscommunication with my doctor, and the antibiotics weren't ever getting to me. Basically, the universe gave me a massive opening to try my essential oils. So while they were messing about with getting the antibiotics to me, I thought, I'm going to try my oregano and see what happens. And I cured it before I needed to take those antibiotics. It was gone and out of my system. So trust me when I say that oregano is not going to be one of the ones you absolutely adore. So obviously it's great in cooking. It might not be one of the ones you absolutely adore. You might not want your whole house smelling like oregano unless you're having some kind of Italian, you know, feast. And you might not want to wear it as a perfume. But when you need that oregano, you'll be so, so glad that you have it. Okay, next one I'm going to go to. So we're moving on to the blends. There's 4 of them I'm going to go through. So hang in there with me. I promise we're near the end if you're getting tired of me talking. The first one I'm going to go to is Deep Blue. So Deep Blue is that muscle blend that I referred to beforehand. I don't know if you can see any of these labels. It looks a bit dark to me. It's the one I add to frankincense. And it's the one that comes in this cream as well. So this is great for throwing in your sports bag. It's also what we call the man converter, because it's very much like deep heat, except it actually does some good. So you can throw that in your gym bag. I know people who use it before they exercise so that they don't get as stiff afterwards. I know people who use it after exercise. I know people myself who use it with sore back pain. And all I will say is, if you're wondering whether it will actually help with those niggly aches and pains, this is all that I used during labour. So that's how powerful and how effective it is. I didn't have any other pain treatment other than this during my labour, so won't be without it. Definitely won't be without that one. Next one is Breathe. So this one is the one I mentioned earlier, which is absolutely great for smelling. It's great for any kind of respiratory support, opens up airways. So anything that is impacted and narrows your airways, making it difficult to breathe. Even if it's something as similar, as easy as snoring, where, you know, you lie on your back, airways are a little bit closed. That's why we snore, because the air, you know, gets caught in and out and makes horrible noise. This oil is for opening up your airways and, should we say, making it a bit easier for you to breathe. Who doesn't want that? I'm trying very hard to be compliant and not say things I shouldn't. Your next one I'm going to mention is the digestive blend. Now, this is a big favourite in our family. This is called Digest Zen, and it's got all things in it. So what I should say about the blends, sorry, I should have explained, is that the blends are still all 100% pure, but they just have more than one essential oil in them. So in the digestive blend, it has in it things that you would expect, like ginger, like aniseed, like fennel, like caraway. All the things that we know are great for digestion are in this handy little bottle. So it's going to help you with digestive troubles, tummy troubles, sickness, any kinds of those bugs that you think you want out of the house. Again, it may be one of the ones that you don't necessarily diffuse because you might not like the smell of it. It smells a bit like sambuca, if I'm honest. But my God, if there's a sickness bug in your house, you will be reaching to this to stop everybody from being sick, you know, regardless of the smell. But it is super powerful, this one, when you take it in your water. I know my mum does that. and if you have got tummy discomfort, when you roll it on, so you dilute it and you rub it on your tummy diluted, super effective. It's my absolute favorite oil when it comes to Bella, because Bella is an absolute angel and nothing really upsets Bella. She's a great sleeper, she's a great eater, blah 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 blah. But the one thing she does get now and again is gas, wind, and it's the only time she turns from our happy smiley bouncy baby into a absolutely red-faced screaming wreck. And I promise you, I counted it the last time. I rubbed it on her tummy and I counted to 10 before she stopped crying and she was back to laughing again. 10 seconds. So, you know, if there's no other oil I travel with, it will be that one for absolute sure. And then the last one, and I'm pretty sure I've said that there are so many of them that are my favourite. This is a recurring theme because I'm about to tell you that this one's my favourite as well. So basically, please don't make me pick. If I had to go anywhere, I don't leave the house without my top 10, is the absolute truth, and others. So this is the last one of the blends. It's called On Guard, which always makes me laugh because it's your protective blend. So you can really think about these oils as protecting you. Along with other things like orange and cinnamon, it has clove in it. Now, clove is an oil that is so powerful for, I'm trying to think of the word, it's written down in front of me. Sorry. It's so powerful for protecting you. So it's the world's most powerful antioxidant. So you would have heard the term antioxidant. These are the things that we take into our body through food, or we produce within our body ourselves, and they work against the free radicals. And free radicals are things within your body that try to disrupt the working of your cells. So they're what we call the naughty cells within your body. They lead to sickness, they lead to disease, they lead to aging, you know, all those kind of things. So you want antioxidants to defend against the free radicals, and clove is your most powerful antioxidant. So there is something called the ORAX scale, which is basically a scale of how antioxidant-y something is, if that makes sense. And on the ORAX scale, it measures lots of things, but food especially is on there. So when we talk about antioxidants, people usually mention things like blueberries, or kale, or spinach, or pomegranate. Blueberries is usually known as being, you know, antioxidant, rich in antioxidants, should we say. And if you think about this, blueberries on the ORAX scale are 2,400. That's their marking on the ORAX scale, if you like. Clove is your most powerful antioxidant, and that's what you've got in this little bottle here. So it's going to defend you against things, against sickness, against aging. And on the ORAX scale, clove measures 1 million, well, over 1,075,000. So that's how powerful it is. There's nothing out there, naturally or synthetically, that absolutely come near it. The next thing on the scale down is about half as effective, and that's myrrh, which is another essential oil, which you can use. It's a little bit more expensive than clove, I'll be honest with you. So reach to clove. That's why it's in your immune boosting blend. So this immune boosting blend, your protective blend, is going to prevent you from picking things up. Now, I use this every single day of my life. I am in contact with the general public a lot with what I do for my living. I have my hands on people who potentially might be sick. And then there's Bella. Think about kids going to nursery, you know, messing around with other kids and snotty noses. And you know that your kid is in this protective essential oil sheath, should we say. That is why you want On Guard in your life. It is just a powerhouse oil. It's also one of the ones you can take internally. So I will put it in my water. I will put it in smoothies. I will put it in porridge in the morning, and it's super yummy. It smells like Christmas. So it's really nice for cold weather like it is today, nice and snowy. You want to be getting those essential oils into you to help protect you. Okay, so I have gone through your top 10, and that's all I'm going to go through with you today, other than how you now actually get your hands on these essential oils. So this is the bit of the class where I usually bow out a little bit. I usually back off a little bit. And I say to people, oh, if they want to come to me, they can come to me. That's fine. But I want to run through with you just how easy it is to get the essential oils. So the first thing to say to you is that whoever introduced you to these essential oils, it is imperative that you go back to them. So I know there are a few, especially on this call, friends of friends, should we say. Whoever has introduced you to the essential oil is the person who's going to be able to help you get your essential oils. I can help you, of course, but there is an ethical standpoint from doTERRA where the person that introduced you is the person who then if you like, reaps the financial benefit of introducing you to the oils. It's also about you being in a team with your friends so that you can share your experience, so that you can really enjoy using the essential oils together and know that you're all benefiting. Now, if any of you have come to me, then you will all be a part of Alison's bigger Healthy Munchkins team. So we will all be on the same team further up anyway. So I'm always there to help you. Don't feel that you're not. But if there's somebody else that you have been introduced to the essential oils to, then go back to them and see if they will help you to get your oils. Okay. So there are basically 3 ways that you can get your hands on doTERRA essential oils. You can buy them retail. You can go onto the website, onto my website, and buy them, but you will pay 25% more for your oils than I pay for mine. Don't do it. Don't buy retail. Absolutely big waste of money. What you want to be doing is choosing your second option, which is to open your own wholesale account. Now, this isn't scary. By opening an account, you're not tied into anything. You never have to buy anything again. You're not going to get bullied into building a business or bullied into ordering something every month. It literally is, you pay a fee, a £25 fee, to open up a wholesale account so that you are opening yourself up to the wholesale prices. It's a bit like, I don't know if you guys know Macro, but you buy a Macro card and you can go and you know, benefit from their wholesale prices, if you like. So it's a bit like you have your own private shop. Now, if you open your wholesale account, you can do it in 2 ways. So you can pay the £25 and you can custom your order by just selecting a few of the oils that you want, and then maybe adding to them over time if you want to. The other way that you can do it is you can buy a kit. Now, doTERRA run lots and lots of kits, and they do that because they're trying to make it easier and more affordable for you. So obviously the bigger the kit you buy, the cheaper you're going to get the oils in the long run. But one of the kits that I absolutely love is their top 10 kit. They do it in 2 versions. The mini one is called your Family Physician Kit, and the slightly bigger one is called your Home Essentials Kit. Now, they both have the top 10 oils in, but they're just different amounts of those oils. And by starting with those top 10 oils, you are really, really giving yourself the best place to start from. You will be able to face any eventuality that comes your way. So they are all the top 10 that I've gone through with you today. Now, it doesn't matter which of those that you do. If you open the kit, then you don't have to pay. Sorry, if you open your wholesale account with a kit, you don't have to pay the £25. doTERRA are there making it cheaper again for you. But whichever of those options you pick, when you open your wholesale account, there are lots and lots of benefits you get. You get one-to-one support with the person that has introduced the oils to you, or with me if you want to. You get access to members-only Facebook groups where you can ask questions and learn from other people. There are recipes in there for cooking. There are files in there to help you make your own cleaning products. There is a much wider, bigger community of doTERRA that you're plugged straight into, and it is a beautiful place to be. All these people are helping you live a more healthy, happy, well life through these gorgeous natural products. And then the other thing you get is members only specials and promotions. These are only open to you if you open your wholesale account. So it's not just about getting them cheaper. It is about the support you get with them, if that makes sense. And the support that you get is the important bit. Like I said in the very, very beginning, the support you get is where my niche comes from. I'm not in the business of selling people things that they don't want. I'm not in the business of selling essential oils. I'm in the business of educating people how to get the most out of the essential oils that they've got. Okay. Now there is an option further down the track, or straight away if you want to have a monthly order. It's completely optional and it's free to start and leave at any time that you want to. The majority of people who enroll with a wholesale account do eventually go on to a monthly order. I do. I know my mum does. I know my best friends do. That is because I am ordering enough every month, or I'm using enough every month that I need to replace them monthly. And it is the most generous way that you can either build your collection or replace the oils that you're using regularly. For instance, you get your shipping back. You start to earn points on what you order, and those points can then be used to pay for other things. You can earn free oils every month. You can earn money from anyone else placed in the team underneath you, whether you're building a business or sharing the oils or not, just living them. There will be people that are placed underneath you that are ordering, and if you're ordering enough, then you will earn commission from them. But most importantly of all, when you're having a monthly order, we know that you are regularly using your oils. And if you are regularly using your oils, you will be getting the maximum amount of health benefits from them. These are not things, and this is the most important thing I want to get across to you, these are not things to put in the cupboard and use for best. These are things to use in as many ways as you can, in, on, and around you, as much as you can, every day, in lots of different ways, to make sure that your body is getting what it needs to balance you, to give you exactly what you need. Okay, so all I'm going to say to you is I'm going to finish with this idea of the live, share, build. So this is what doTERRA is built upon: living the oils, absolutely loving them in your life and experiencing the massive health benefits from them, and experiencing this bigger community that is there to support and love each other. I'll promise you, I'm traveling to Australia next month to go to the Australian doTERRA convention, and I'm so excited to go there because there are more friends than I can count on my two hands that I have never met other than virtually, you know, in Facebook groups or, you know, in webinars like this, that literally I can't wait to get my hands on. I can't wait to give them a big hug and a big kiss and a big cuddle, because these people are a big, big part of my life. And the truth of the matter is that oily people are always lovely, lovely people. There is a saying out there that you become the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself by. So make those 5 people really positive, uplifting, happy, well, gorgeous individuals, and imagine the average that you will be. The second way is to share those oils. So this is becomes such a natural thing to do, to tell your friends. If you found something that you know helps you and wants and they need that help, then you cannot bear not to share it. So you can bring people to other classes that are running. You can send them to me, and I will go through with them on a one-to-one, or, you know, in an online class, anything like that. You are helping them to improve their life. You can even host a class of your own at your house, and I will come and do this spiel again and let you smell all the oils and you know, see if you want to get them in your life. And then the third way, again, is that building that business. It's all of the loving and the sharing of the oils, but with supplementing or complementing your income. So if you want to, and you're in the frame of mind where you want to be thinking of building a business to really, you know, help with other people and really kind of build that lovely essence of doTERRA wider and wider throughout the world, then come talk to me and we can talk about business stuff at any point that you want to. So this is me signing off. It's been really lovely. I've been really enjoyed myself. I'm sorry it's been such a spiel of me, but I hope that you've got a little bit out of this and you can see that my passion for spreading the health and the wellness as far as I can. Any questions, of course, contact me. You can find me on Pay It Forwards. You can always email me on bryonytilly@hotmail.com, or send me a private message on Facebook, and I'd be happy to hear from you. So sending lots and lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.